Welcome to the Knowledge Drop podcast. We are here with the one and only Henry Link.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. No
Right
problem.
before breakfast, right before hitting a flight to China this
Exactly.
time around.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you for hopping on. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. And
Good.
you?
Excellent. A little bit of a short night after the camp of hip hop.
It's
Full week of
okay.
a camp, but it's all good. It is what it is.
No
Had a
course.
great time. First of all, big up, mad props for being an inspiration for the breakers. Also over here in my country, in Finland, we looked
Okay.
up to a lot of your footage coming up as breakers, and not just looking up to breakers, but also seeing the Mop Tops, seeing the Elite Force,
Okay.
learning from the grooves and trying to make our toprocks a little bit funky. So big
Uh-huh.
up. Um, can you take me back to creating, let's say, the Wreckin shop? Good times.
What, Wrecking Shop?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Wrecking Shop, everybody think like Wrecking Shop is like a script, like like most of the documentaries is like a script and everything is set up in a certain way. No, everything you see in Wrecking Shop is actually live. It happened at that moment. Because when you see all the time in record shop, you see either two or three or four people just there dancing. We're actually waiting for other people to come. So while we was waiting, we was playing music and just talking and having fun with each other and waiting for everybody else to come. We had no idea the lady was filming the entire time. So even times that we thought she was filming, she wasn't filming, and her assistant, another guy, was further in the back. He was filming. So everything you see is actually raw. It's actually happened. When they were at the house and dancing, they were just hanging out, waiting for us to come. When we was in the studio, we was waiting for them to come. When we was in the park, we waiting for everybody still to come. Only time you know that we know the camera's really rolling is when you see us in the club. When you see us outside the club, we talking about going in the club. That's the only time we know the camera's actually filming.
But that's the way you make a classic. Just only difference is that there is a camera in place. Everything
Yes.
else is organic and smooth. Cool. And another classic, of course, the New School Dictionary with Stretch. We will study it like a Bible to make our top rock more funky. One thing that I'm interested about is the names of the steps. How did that creation process go? Like, because for example, in breakers, we still argue after 50 years. What is the name
Well, the
of the
names of
basic steps? You
the
guys have it set up. You're like, all right,
no.
here's the Reebok, here's the Robocop, whatever.
Oh, but that like the New School Dictionary was not like meant for be like the Bible. The New School Dictionary was meant for people to understand dances had happened at a different decade, a different time frame. So when people was talking, when you see the New School Dictionary, it says old school, new school, and it says old school, middle school, and new school. We wasn't saying that. We were saying this was in the 80s, this was in the 90s, this is in 2000. We were telling people what dancing steps happened in which decade. And dances, like dance steps came by either comedians, actors, singers, or whatever somebody was wearing in the club at the time or at the party.
So I wonder, was there many times where a step had many names, or
Yeah,
was it clear?
like like
And how did
uh
you decide?
like RoboCop has nothing to do with the movie RoboCop. Don't know why it's called RoboCop.
Yeah.
That's a West Coast. That's from the West Coast. They called that from a trendy era. They called it the trendy era. And Janet Jackson has to do with Janet Jackson. She did this dance step when she was performing the song Control on Music Awards. And Steve Martin comes from the comedian Steve Martin. Alf comes from the TV show The Alf, the intelligent life form, artificial life form. That like these things come from things people saw.
Okay. Can you take me back to the clubs? Did you see any breakers out there at that time? Style started to change, music started to
Like
change, breakers
breaking
started to
when
wear off
breaking
a little bit.
was when breaking was super strong back then, there was no clubs. No, actually, that's wrong. There were clubs. People were going to the Roxy's, and people was going to oh, what is it called? It was where they do all the kick dancing. They was doing kick dancing at the time. Some club, they was going to these clubs when there was breaking going on at the time. And you can see that inside the movie B Street. That's why they put the
Of
Roxy's
course.
there, because they were going to these clubs. But then the club scene for that died down. Then Union Square, Latin Quarters, these clubs opened up, and that's when the stand-up dance got stronger, became stronger again, and there was no actual breaking in Latin Quarters and Union Square, as I know, as because people that I knew went to these clubs, came back and told us all the information, and no breaking. They didn't never talk about breaking in the club. They was talking about people doing like uh, rooftop, uh, not out prep or uh, was it Windows dance step called Windows. That's what they called it. I never knew the name was called Windows, but that's what they called it. And they was talking about these type of dance steps. They wasn't talking about no break moves, nothing like that. Because at that time, breaking started to die. Yeah,
Yeah.
in America, it started to die.
Yes.
And when it was officially dead, was a song came out by European song, Tears for Fears, Shout. This song destroyed breaking, locking, popping, Lee Jeans. It everything became like whack or played out when this song came out.
Yeah. Do you have a memory of when did you start seeing breakers again, and how was you guys' relationship with
When I
breakers
start what?
coming up? Like, do you have a memory of when did you start seeing breakers again? Was there like a
Oh, when I
moment you
started
see like,
seeing
oh,
breaking
they're
again,
back?
when I started seeing breaking again, my fondest memory was before going to Japan. It's when I had a battle with Rocksteady.
Oh,
And yeah, it would have never happened if I knew it was Rocksteady. Because, you have respect for your people before you. So, and we was in the club at the DMC contest, like the DJ scratch
yeah.
contest. And they just started breaking. And I was like, what the fuck are they doing? This is old. Like, because you didn't see it in such a long time. And I was like, they breaking. This is the real. They popping. What? Really?
Yeah.
This is old. So at the time, it was considered old. So to see this, and you're like, wow, really? People are still breaking and popping, locking? Really? Wow. And then when I went to Japan, I saw it in many different dance crews and like performances. I'm like, whoa, it's coming back. That's when I noticed it was coming back.
Yeah. Dope. Any tips for the breakers in the world who want to be more funky on top, who want to have some groove in their top rock? A lot of breaking is really mechanic and concentrating on moves, right? So as far as your ideas of how we
That for
actually
me,
get
they
more
have to
groovy.
get back to the dance part. They got the power down to a science. The power moves is down to a science. When you hit the floor, because when you hit the floor, that was for us. That was called power moves. The dance was the up rock, the top rock, the how you freaked upstairs, the when you were standing up and rocking. This was the dance part, and then you dance down into the moves. The b-boys, that's a lot of b-boys you see today, and I even heard this from b-boys. Like I heard it from Wiggles, I heard it from other b-boys when I was just at Red Bull BC, the Red Bull dance camp, and even they said they hope in trying to get b-boys to go back to dancing, dancing to the power moves. Yeah, so just the dance part. The power is there for sure. The 90s, the air flares, the head spins, the whole combination and all that's there. The dance part.
That's what's up. Thank you for the time.
No
Safe
problem.
travels. Keep chopping up beats,
Oh,
and
of
I'll see you
course.
around.
Yes,
Peace.
peace.
Cool.